Welcome to our Bible meditation. This reading is for June 17th, 2023, and we're reading Ecclesiastes 3, 4, 5, and 6.
And we're reading from the New King James Version. Ecclesiastes 3. Everything has its time. To everything there is a season, a time for every purpose under heaven. Time to be born, a time to die. Time to plant, a time to pluck what is planted. A time to kill, and a time to heal. A time to break down, a time to build up. A time to weep, and a time to laugh. A time, a time to mourn, a time to dance, a time to cast away stones, and a time to gather stones, a time to embrace, a time to refrain from embracing, time to gain and a time to lose, time to keep and a time to throw away, a time to tear and a time to sow, a time to keep silence and a time to speak, time to love and a time to hate, time of war and a time of peace. The God-given task. What profit has a worker from that in which he labors? I have seen God-given tasks which with the sons of men are to be occupied. He has made everything beautiful in his time. Also, he has put eternity in their hearts, except that no one can find out the work that God does from the beginning to the end. I know that nothing is better for them than to rejoice and to do good in their lives, and also that every man should eat and drink and enjoy the good of all his labor. It is the gift of God. I know that whatever God does, it shall be forever. Nothing can be added to it, and nothing can be taken from it. God does it that men should fear before him. That which has already been and what is already to be has already been. And God requires an account of what is past. Injustice seems to prevail. Moreover, I saw under the sun, in the place of judgment, wickedness was there, and in the place of righteousness, iniquity was there. I say in my heart, God shall judge the righteous and the wicked, for there's a time there for every purpose in every work. I said in my heart concerning the condition of the sons of men, God tests them that they may see they themselves are like animals. For what happens to the son of men also happens to animals. One thing befalls them as one dies, so dies the other. Sure, they all have one breath. Man has no advantage over animals, for all is vanity. All go to one place, all are from the dust, and all shall return to the dust. Who knows the spirit of the sons of men which go upward, and the spirit of the animal which goes down to the earth? So I perceive that nothing is better than a man should rejoice in his own work, for that is his heritage. For who can bring him to see what will happen after him?
Okay, Ecclesiastes 4. Then I returned and considered all the oppression that is done under the sun. And look, the tears of the oppressed, but they have no comforter. On the side of their oppressors there is power, but they have no comforter. Therefore I praise the dead who were already dead, more than the living who are still alive. Yet better than both is he who has never existed, who has not seen the evil work that is done under the sun, the vanity of selfish toil. Again I saw that for all toil and every skillful work, a man is envied by his neighbor. This also is vanity and grasping for the wind. The fool holds his hands and consumes his own flesh. Better a handful with quietness than both hands full, together with toil and grasping for the wind. Then I returned, and I saw vanity under the sun. There is one alone, without companion. He has neither son nor brother, yet there is no end to all his labors. Nor is his eye satisfied with riches. But he never asks, for whom do I toil and deprive myself of good? This also is vanity and a grave misfortune. The value of a friend. Two are better than one, because they have a good reward for their labor. For if they fall, one will lift up his companion. But woe to him who is alone when he falls, for he has no one to help him up. Again, if two lie down together, they will keep warm. But how can one be warm alone? Though one may be overpowered by another, two can withstand him. And a threefold cord is not quickly broken. Popularity passes away. Better a poor and wise youth than an old and foolish king who will be admonished no more. For he comes out of prison to be king, although he was born poor in his kingdom. I saw all the living who walk under the sun. They were with the second youth who stands in his place. There was no end of all the people over whom he was made king. Yet those who come forward will not rejoice in him. Surely this also is vanity and grasping for the wind.
Ecclesiastes 5. Fear God and keep your vows. Walk prudently when you go into the house of God, and draw near to hear rather than to give sacrifices of fools, for they do not know that they do evil. Do not be rash with your mouth, and do not let your heart utter anything hastily before God. For God's in heaven and you're on earth. Therefore, let your words be few. For a dream comes through much activity, and a fool's voice is known by his many words. When you make a vow to God, do not delay to pay it, for he has no pleasure in fools. Pay what you have vowed. Better not to vow than to vow and not pay. Do not let your mouth cause your flesh to sin, nor say before the messenger of God that it was an error. Why should God be angry at your excuse and destroy the work of your hands? For in the multitude of dreams and many words there is also vanity. But fear God, the vanity of gain and honor. If you see the oppression of the poor and the violent perversion of justice and righteousness in a province, do not marvel at the matter, for the high officials watch over high official, and higher officials watch over them. Moreover, the profit of the land is for all. Even the king is served from the field. He who loves silver will not be satisfied with silver, nor he who loves abundance with increase. This is also vanity. When goods increase, they increase who eat them. So what profits have the owner except to see them with their eyes? The sleep of a laboring man is sweet, whether he eats much or little. But the abundance of the rich will not permit him to sleep. There is a severe evil which I have seen under the sun. Riches kept for their owner to his hurt, but those riches perish through misfortune. When he begets a son, there is nothing in his hand. As he comes from his mother's womb, naked shall he return, to go as he came, and he shall take nothing from his labor, which he may carry away in his hand. And this also is a severe evil, just exactly as he came, so shall he go. What profit has he who labored for the wind? All of his days he eats in darkness, for he has much sorrow, sickness, and anger. Here's what I've seen. It's good and fitting for one to eat and drink, and to enjoy the good of all his labors, in which he toils under the sun all the days of his life, which God gives him, for it is his heritage. As for every man to whom God has given riches and wealth, and given him power to eat of it, to receive his heritage, and to rejoice in his labor. This is the gift of God, for he will not dwell unduly on the days of his life, because God keeps him busy with the joy of his heart.
Ecclesiastes 6. There is an evil which I have seen under the sun, and it is common among men, A man to whom God has given riches and wealth and honor, so that he lacks nothing for himself of all the desires. Yet God does not give him power to eat of it, but a foreigner consumes it. This is vanity, and it is an evil affliction. If a man begets 100 children, and lives many years, so that the days of his years are many, but his soul is not satisfied with goodness, or indeed he has no burial, I say that a stillborn child is better than he. For it comes in vanity and departs in darkness, and its name is covered with darkness. Though it has not seen the sun or known anything, this has more rest than that man, even if he lives 1,000 years twice, but has not seen goodness. Do not all go to one place? All the labor of man is for his mouth, and yet the soul is not satisfied. For what more has the wise man than the fool? What does the poor man have? Who knows how to walk before the living? Better is the sight of the eyes than the wandering of desire. This also is vanity and grasping for the wind. Whatever one is, he has been named already. For it is known that he is man, and he cannot contend with him who is mightier than he. Since there are many things that increase vanity, how is man the better? For who knows what is good for man in life, all the days of his vain life, which he passes like a shadow? Who can tell a man what will happen after him under the sun?
Well, so anything stand out to you?
Yeah, number 3, when it starts, I'm sure a lot of you know back in the late 60s, early 70s, there was a song from the Birds. They actually sang um, A Time to Be Born. Everything has its time. There's a season, a time for every purpose under heaven. And I think I'm going to look for it and post it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll post the song.
So
It was in my early years, I remember as a kid. So, but as a kid, I didn't know it was from the Bible. The lyrics were from the Bible. I think there are a lot of people that didn't know it was the Bible.
right.
So,
Anyway,
yeah. Anyway, so I think we're done. I don't know. Ecclesiastes is a little different.
yes, it is.
It's a little different.
So
So we'll be back tomorrow. Right?
yes, ma'am.
Okay. Be blessed. See you
God
then.
loves you. We love you.